One problem that most orchid or plant growers face is running out of space. Going vertical can really help. For my shade house, I use a variety of methods. Mounting is a good option and one that I really like, but not all growers like mounting orchids. I particularly like the look of unglazed clay pots, and I think orchids grown in them are healthier and more successful, but take up a lot of bench space. Getting them up off the bench has several benefits. It looks good, it frees up space, and it's better for the plant with increased air circulation and light levels. So actually making the hangers for pots is very easy. The trick is making them look good, which I don't actually think matters that much because they're typically hidden behind the plant. But I'm going to show you the technique that I use, and the thing that I've learned is that practice makes perfect on this. So I've made a lot of these, and when I haven't made one in a while, the first couple that I make are terrible. Then when I get into a routine, they start coming out pretty uniform. So what I do is I take the heaviest gauge wire I have because I do want some rigidity. So I believe this is either 12 or 14 gauge wire. I take a single loop of it, so taking a single loop, and I go a little bit, let me show this closer to the camera. So a single loop of it, and you don't need a full loop, so I'll go right about there. So I'm going to do that length of wire. None of this has to be exact unless you're manufacturing these in some way, but I'm going to stretch this out and make it as straight as I can. And all I do with that is just kind of hold my wire and do these little micro corrections. And actually, even that with a little bit of a bend is okay. I think we're good to go. So I'm going to go about halfway through the length that I've just made, and I'm going to bend, and I'm going to start to make a triangle. I'm going to take that length, I would say that is about 3 inches, and I'm going to make another triangle back into the first one. So now I've got a triangle, and if you look at this, the point of this is that that's going to hang on to this ridge in the pot. So next thing is I'm going to bend this over, all the way over the pot like that, and crimp it down. And it doesn't have to be totally tight. I just have better results, or I think that I have better results when it's tight. So now that's tight, and I actually want some spring action in this. I purposely bent it as a spring like that so it's pushing over, because what I'm going to do now is bend it back down, and you can see that there's some nice tension in there. Now with this is now going to be the actual hanger part, and I'm going to bend that to continue that straight line. So now if you think about it, and I'll do 2 of these, but this is going to fit into the plant. This part is going to stick on the outside, so I actually want this to be bent over. I would actually suggest not using your bare hands for this. This could be a little bit sharp. But that's the finished product. So, and these, I will be honest, these don't always work. Because sometimes you make this triangle a little bit too narrow or a little bit too wide. I think this one's just about perfect, and I will test it by taking my pot. What I'm going to think about is this is going to hang off of my fencing. This is actually starting to spike, so this is going to flower. So I want to stick this inside the pot. I want to pull this down, and what I want to hear is a little snap. And that is exactly what I wanted to hear. And you could see hopefully you can see that that's clear, that that really is on there. And now that's not going anywhere. I actually probably 20, I'm pulling 20 pounds at least, maybe more, of pressure on that, and that is not going anywhere. The only way this is going to break is if this entire thing breaks, or if the fence itself gets pulled off. This plant could get 30 times bigger than this. This could turn into a massive plant, and this isn't going anywhere. Okay, so now I've got my pot, got my hanger, and what I can do, and this is the beauty of having this this fence post, or this wire screening set up, is I can now go and attach it, and that's not going anywhere.